something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Today in Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. Well, Florida Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried touting her campaign as something new and saying she will fight for the rigged system in Tallahassee, has formally entered the 2022 race for governor. Fried, an attorney and former medical marijuana lobbyist who scored on narrow victory back in 2018 to become the only statewide elected Democrat, criticized Republicans' two-decade hold on Florida government in a video announcing her gubernatorial campaign. According to the News Service of Florida, Fried, who has long been expected to run, must still get through next year's Democratic primary. It will include U.S. Representative Charlie Crist. The winner is expected to take on Governor Ron DeSantis. Fried entered the race nearly a month after Chris held an event in St. Petersburg to announce he would run for a governor a third time. But the Democratic field could continue to grow. The Fried's move will open her cabinet office in 2022.
Are you looking for something that's unusual or hard to find? You might just find it at HiBid.com. It's the online auction site for, well, just about anything. HiBid.com has estate sales, closeouts, liquidations, and even government-seized vehicle auctions. It's easy to bid on office furniture, antiques, sports memorabilia, restaurant equipment, motorboats, and even arcade games. You can search for items by name or simply see where the next page takes you. Visit HiBid.com, that's HIBID.com, and find what you're looking for today.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm and a high of 85 to 88. Then partly cloudy tonight with spotty showers and a low of 70 to 72. Rather cloudy on Friday, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day. High tomorrow 84 to 87. Then look for a thunderstorm or two Saturday afternoon. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Thursday morning. I got great news last night, but then it got soured by how it's going to happen. We'll talk about that with Galen Unoff from Life South. It is Ocala Talks. We're coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport. Galen Unoff from Life South joins us, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Only got him for half an hour today. There's really a serious need for blood donation, and Galen's trying through meetings and scheduling and working his magic with his team, trying to figure out a way to keep us in blood, Galen. It's really, really I read the Ocala Star-Banner article. It's really, you say critical need. This isn't critical need. This is on life support, really.
Yeah, it is, and it has been for, gosh, it seems like 6 weeks. We just can't keep up, and it's really all about two things. One, our usage is just skyrocketing all across our footprint. And people who are putting off health care got sicker than they normally would, right? There was a lot of preventative maintenance on people, preventative health checks, routine checkups that they just skipped, where things could have been identified and taken care of rather easily, turned into something more serious, and that's leading to a lot of usage. And now you kind of release the hounds, and we've had a lot of traumas throughout the Southeast over the last 3 or 4 weeks. As travel, people are much more people are traveling in a car rather than in the airplanes and those, so that's creating more car accidents and things like that. So all of that leads into more blood usage, and we still aren't having blood drives at large businesses with the way we were pre-pandemic because not everybody's returned to work. So it's just an uphill climb right now. We need everybody to get out there, get the life, and donate blood.
I don't think people understand how much you miss out, though, on how the movie theaters were closed. That was a place where the Bloodmobile would be at a lot. College campuses, the community colleges, in Gainesville and here, how they were closed for in-person classes. That takes a lot of your donators, people that donate away from you.
Yeah, and we went back and looked at the sectors that we lost the most donations. Number 1 was colleges. Number 2 was high school. And number 3 was businesses. So, and when you put those 3 together, they make up about 30% of all of our blood collections come from those 3 areas. And I'm sorry, with businesses, it's more like 45. So we were really
almost
really
half your supply, almost half your donators.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just not. I mean, we're talking all throughout the Southeast. Luckily, in Florida, they opened up high schools to us, and so we were able to have blood drives in high schools in Florida, but no universities.
No,
because everything was virtual. So, the University of Florida campus alone.
That's 55,000 students.
Yeah, we have 2 blood mobiles there every day, 5 days a week. And we also go to the University of Georgia, University of Alabama, and every one of the small schools across that same footprint, UNF, right? We hit every major school because, first of all, they're college kids. They need a T-shirt, and they're hungry, so we feed them. And they're bored most of the time. They have a lot of free time.
I remember when I was in college, the Bloodmobile would come to Georgia Southern. I don't know if it was yours or one of the other companies.
No, it's Red Cross.
But it would come to Georgia Southern, and you'd get a free Papa John's one-topping Papa John's pizza, and that's huge to a college football player that doesn't have much money to get a free Papa John's pizza. I mean, we would do the whole football team would get together, just line up at the bus and say, "Here you go." We were healthy, we were in good shape, and we were hungry. So here you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we lost that. And we lost things like Dragon Con. We couldn't go to Dragon Con last year. We lost all the fraternities and the sororities. And we're just trying to maintain and keep up.
So next time we go back to Dragon,
it's going to be a rough summer.
Next time Life South goes back to Dragon Con, can you and I go up there? Can you and I go up there as a radio team and just do some stuff from Dragon Con and just hang out up there and enjoy Dragon Con?
I mean, you can. I mean, that's the busiest 5 days of my year.
That's only Labor Day weekend, pal.
Yeah, it's the biggest. It's one of the top 5 biggest blood drives in the world.
Here's the thing about Dragon Con that people don't know.
And I'm the point man.
And Dragon Con's the second largest Comic Con in all the nation
No,
after.
No, it's the largest.
No, San Diego's bigger. San Diego's bigger.
No, it's not. San Diego has less attendees.
Unless Mark's done great things in the last 4 or 5 years. The guy that used to oversee that, because I used to go to Dragon Con every year, but it was nip and tuck, so it could have passed San Diego by now. But the reason
2 years ago there were 125,000 people.
The reason I love Dragon Con is 3 things come together that weekend in Atlanta. So you have Dragon Con, so you have all the Comic Cons and all the fantasy people and all the sci-fi people in Atlanta. There's Gay Pride Week that week in Atlanta Gay Pride Week, so you have a large contingent of gay pride advocates in Atlanta that weekend. And it's also the kickoff game for the SEC football year, and so you have an SEC football game going on at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You talk about 3 groups of people that it's very, very interesting to see how they meld together. It's a good time. That's a good time in Atlanta. I'm telling you. It's a good time.
Yeah, they did move Gay Pride, but it's been replaced by a NASCAR race.
Oh, well, there you go. So
yeah.
I've been to Dragon Con about 8 years. I need to get back. I need to get back to Dragon Con. It's a good time.
Well, if you were there 8 years ago, you would have seen me.
It was a good time. That's the first time I ever seen the band that played they sit inside Tesla's ball and use the lightning bolts throughout the room. They create lightning bolts throughout the room, and that's what powers their music instruments inside the ball that they're playing in. Fantastic
They have
group.
A great wrestling show.
Oh, a great wrestling
Phenomenal
show.
Wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Phenomenal. Hey, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about something that's aggravated me, and I'm telling you it aggravates me because I'm a little bit of a homer, but, come on. We'll talk about why I said come on next.
You need to get over it.
Okay. We'll talk about it next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Ugh, what wrong?
Ugh, need wood for fire.
Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire.
Ugh, what takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
Ugh, my bad. You wash hands?
Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. 8:15 on a Thursday. It was announced last night that arguably one of the best basketball coaches ever to coach in the college ranks, although I'll never give him that kind of credit because I'm a North Carolina fan, is announced his retirement. And announce your retirement. Roy Williams announced his retirement from Carolina, retired. I'm okay, announce your retirement, but then retire. You don't take a victory lap. You don't say I'm retiring at the end of the season so I can go around the country and get all kind of gifts and special nights for me. I'm talking about the whiny, crying, everything's against us baby Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. Well, I mean, come on, a victory lap, Galen. Really, is that this guy's a joke?
Dean Smith did it.
Yeah, but Dean Smith was the greatest coach not named John Wood, ever been known to man.
Wait. Dean Smith did nearly the identical thing.
Yeah, but Dean Smith's a great human being. Dean Smith's a great human being.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So, and by the way, I too am a Tar Heel, right? I am a Tar Heel. My mom went to the University of North Carolina. I had no choice but to love Carolina.
I've loved Carolina since Phil Ford, baby.
Let me ask you this: who was the coach at Duke before Coach K?
Have no idea.
You don't know. No one does.
No clue.
I don't know if Duke knows, right? I mean, so, and I am no fan of Coach K, but I respect the heck out of him. He's very much like Derek Jeter to me as a Red Sox fan, right? He wins. I mean, he coached under Bobby Knight. He
at Army.
Coached at Westport. At Westport, where he made the
West Point, not Westport. You got high school on your mind. West Point, not Westport.
I'm sorry. West Point, and he went to the NCAA tournament. I think 3 out of the 5 years he was there.
And he started at Duke. He started at Duke with 3 losing seasons, but it was a different time then. If he'd have done that now, he'd have been fired. But they actually gave him a contract extension and a raise after 3 losing seasons.
And again, he was coaching in the ACC and turned a team that was literally the worst team in the league, the small private school, right, that academically wasn't even very good then, and turned it into a international powerhouse, both educationally, right, under his guidance, and because he was a winner, he brought so much attention to that school. Duke University is considered a very esteemed college.
It's the Ivy League of the South. It's the Ivy League of the South.
And Johns Hopkins.
Vanderbilt. Yeah, it's like that.
Correct. Absolutely. Before that, Duke was just Duke, right? Now he turned it into where it was Duke is Duke, and they're on TV more than Leave It to Beaver reruns. So I understand what you're saying, but I think Coach K's earned that. And let's be clear, Carolina basketball was popular before Dean Smith.
Yes.
It was popular after Dean Smith.
Yes.
And Roy Williams has had an incredible career there.
Well, I will give you this.
Again, and Coach K did it through this modern era where they were one and done. He did it in the old era where a guy stayed for 4 years, and he had a bunch of guys
that aggravated the hell out of me.
College.
They aggravated the hell out of me.
Great in college. Name a Hall of Famer that he coached in college. Grant Hill is probably the best player he ever coached.
But Grant Hill, is he in the Hall of Fame?
He's not. No.
He arguably coached the second greatest college basketball player, because Lou Alcindor was the greatest basketball player in college. Okay, I don't even think that's arguable. But Christian Laettner could be argued to be arguably the second best player to ever play college basketball.
Well, I put Walton up there right next to
right. No, I know you, but it's in the, but Laettner's in that argument.
He's in the top 5.
Yeah, of course he is.
You cannot have a top 5 without Laettner in.
No.
So.
But I didn't like the guy. Didn't like him.
Well, no, but that was okay, and they wore that as a badge of honor.
I will give you this.
Now here's one other thing. You can't. College basketball is as popular as it is now because of the environment that Coach K created at Duke with the Cameron Crazy.
The rivalry
changed the game.
The rivalry that began in the 80s, and people will say, no, that was before. No, it wasn't. The big rivalry in the ACC, and you know this because you're a Carolina fan. Duke in the late 80s, when they got very good and started being able to compete with Carolina, replaced Carolina's biggest rivalry because Jim Valvano had left. But up until that point, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the rivalry was Carolina State. Duke was nowhere. Wake Forest was nowhere. It was Carolina State, period. That was it.
That was it. You were either red or blue.
That was it. You either were Carolina blue or you wore that terrible red color. That's it.
That's right. And again, so you're making my point for me, Coach. If there is a guy, and let's be, he's done it right. He's avoided a lot of scandals that even Dean Smith had with the grades, that Roy Williams had with the grades.
Easy, just because we had dummies. I mean, kids that couldn't do well in class at Carolina.
No, it's not that they didn't do well.
They did well because they had help.
Test for them. You know, Rasheed Wallace basically never went to a class. I mean, he's admitted to that. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think he deserves it.
I will tell you
really
this.
Do. I think Coach K has changed basketball.
I will give him credit for this.
Internationally, he's changed basketball.
I will give him credit for this. He was able to be the first coach that I thought got into the heads of and were able to deal with professional basketball players at the Olympic level. The only other coach that did it as well as Coach K did was Chuck Daly with the Dream Team. But Chuck Daly didn't have to do much. Sure. It was the Dream Team. But remember, Coach K got hired. Jerry Colangelo brought Coach K in because LeBron James and those guys, remember, it was LeBron. No, it wasn't LeBron James. It was Lamar Odom and those guys had won the bronze medal in the Olympics.
Correct.
The bronze medal.
Correct.
For the USA. The only other time they had won and didn't win the gold was when Russia stole it with some phantom calls in 1972, and they refused those silver medals. If you remember that, they refused those silver medals. That's the only other time America did less than a gold medal. And then here they were winning the bronze medal. So Jerry Colangelo got involved, turned that around, brought Coach K in, and Coach K had the respect because of his resume at Duke. He had the respect of these professional athletes where they listened to him, listened to how they put their egos to a side because he wasn't going to have it. And he did win, put American basketball back to prominence on the world stage. 100% he did that.
Yeah, and so I don't know if there is a coach that deserves it. I'll put it this way. There is a coach that deserves it. Coach K does.
You know, I hate giving this guy credit. I promise you I do. But is it safe to say in the era from the 1980s to now that he's the closest thing to the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden? Because he did win 5 national championships in a time period where 48 teams and then 64 teams and then 68 teams into the tournament. I mean, he only won half as many as John Wooden, but he did it with twice as many teams that he had to beat. So can you make the argument that he's the John Wooden of his era?
Yeah. Oh, man. John Wooden was just head and shoulders.
But remember, he was only beating 16. There were only 16 teams then.
No, I get that. It's an apples to apple to oranges comparison.
Yes.
And the reason I'm hesitating is, did you see how John Wooden won?
Yeah.
I mean, if he lost a game, it was like, wow, it's great.
And by the way, Coach K would hate that we were making this analogy.
Different. Well, of course he would.
He would hate it because Bobby Knight and John Wooden are in one class, and then everybody else is in a class below that, in Mike Krzyzewski's mind.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know, man.
You got to give the guy credit. You got to give the guy credit though, because he was brought up through the Bobby Knight system, and he was smart enough to take some great points of Bobby Knight's system, but leave out the chair throwing, the choking of players, the slapping players around. He left that out.
Well, he left the negative emotion out.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, but that's who Bobby Knight was. So you can't.
And arguably, to me, he had one of the most dogged basketball players ever to play basketball in the collegiate ranks. And I didn't like him. I thought he was smug. But once I watched the story of his life and everything, and how he came up with his dad as a coach and everything, I got a new respect for him. And you're right, that's Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley was. He was in your pocket the entire time, 96 feet up and down the floor.
There's a great documentary on his life.
Oh, that 30 for 30 is fantastic. The 30 for 30 on Bobby Hurley. It's 30 for 30, yeah.
And everybody but a Duke fan hates Bobby Hurley. You ask any hoop guy, and you're like, Bobby Hurley. They're going to go, man, I love that dude. That's because he's a Duke fan. Everybody else hated him.
Oh, slapping the floor and everything. You son of a biscuit.
Yeah. People, he started all that.
I know he did.
That intensity was unmatched.
And to see how him and Leitner operated together, because Bobby Hurley was a no-nonsense guy. He didn't like jokers. He didn't like, messing around. It was all business with him. Well, Leitner was a jokester, and Leitner did all kind of practical jokes to him and everything. And the first season and a half, they did not get along at all. And yet, by the time they're seniors, they were best friends. They were. I mean, the chemistry that Bobby Hurley and Christian Leitner had is one that you don't see very often in sports across the board, much less in basketball.
Yeah, I saw Christian Leitner play in the Kingdom of the Sun. Gosh, I don't remember when that was.
Had to have been in 88, 87, 89, right? 88,
like
87.
I can't remember. I think it may have been 88 or 87.
He was a senior on the Dream Team in 92.
Sure.
So it had to be 87 probably.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think it was 87.
Real quick, we got about 2 minutes to go.
I
want to change to a different subject. It was announced yesterday afternoon, that all restrictions are lifted at the Daytona International Speedway leading into the Coke Zero 400, which is the last week of August for some damn reason. I don't know why it is. It should be 4th of July, but don't get me started on NASCAR. Don't get me started on NASCAR screwing up its whole schedule and everything. It's just tradition, Galen. July 4th weekend. That's when the Coke Firecracker 400 is supposed to be. But all restrictions lifted.
Correct.
All restrictions lifted. Got about a minute and a half. I mean, that's good, right?
Absolutely. I think it's pretty fantastic, actually. So, I'm pretty excited.
I'm looking forward to it. Last night, announced attendance at the Braves game, 33,217. So, baseball looks like some of the baseball parks, I don't know if most of them, but some of the baseball parks back to full capacity. I suspect every SEC school will be back to full capacity in football season. So I think we've turned a corner, but we still need to be vigilant. But I think we've turned a corner, and we understand that if you use common sense, you can be in crowds again.
Yeah, absolutely correct. You're dead on that. So I think we're past it. I think high schools, colleges are already open now without masks.
Right.
So, I think we're in a good spot.
Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, Bloodmobile today, we're at the Walmart out in the Villages, so please come by and see us, and please get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. We need every single unit we can get.
And with that, we'll just we'll say what about? Oh yeah, go Heels. How about that?
Thank you. Just donate blood. That's what I'm going to say. Donate blood.
Galen, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Tom. Bye, all.
Coming up next, former school board member Sue Mosley joins us to talk about, is a statute a law? And if so, are 2 school board members breaking the law by not living in their district? We'll find out next, right here on WOCA The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
An appeals court has ruled that the Biden administration can't use race and sex as factors when distributing coronavirus relief funds. In a 2-1 ruling, the 3-judge panel of the 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said that the Small Business Administration was violating the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause by giving priority to minority and female-owned restaurants seeking coronavirus relief funds. The Justice Department declining to comment on the ruling or whether it would appeal to the Supreme Court. Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, petitioned a judge to receive probation weeks ahead of his sentencing date. Chauvin's attorney saying he has no prior criminal history and a 19-year law enforcement career in which he received several commendations. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Join me, George Norrie, for the Worldwide Contact in the Desert virtual